To do a banner.
Kind of a quiet week football-wise, so
Yeah.
who knows? We might just play our intro song like 20 times this episode. So
Okay.
tune in to find out. Here goes the first one for the next 20 seconds. I wasn't kidding though. It's funny that I'm talking about the Super Bowl week as a quiet week. So that just kind of tells you, where our interests lie.
It is. I mean, prior to us jumping on, Herb and I were just, I guess, double confirming what we were gonna go over tonight, because I was like, it's been somewhat of a quiet week,
which is good for us.
Good for us. Things have finally died down via Alabama football. As far as
Randy just got a shout out before we did.
I know. I just realized that too. But hey, Randy's Randy. Can't be.
Yeah. I mean, he is a celebrity.
So quick question here. So is our portal finally closed? I mean,
isn't it officially the 10th?
Yeah, because that's the day he retired. Yeah, it would be the 10th.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks. If everybody gets into it before then, it's all your fault.
Okay. Well, even with that being said, National Signing Day is tomorrow.
I'm just going through all the hellos.
Oh yeah. Even with National Signing Day being tomorrow, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, any major flips or anything like that. Randy is the man. But we got Ryan Williams to commit. I'm expecting him to sign, expecting Noah Carter, and then
actually the old swag that we haven't merchandised yet. So
yes, that is actually the logo we designed. That was was it years ago? Maybe 2 years ago. It was not a long time ago, but it was maybe a year or so ago. I don't know. Anyway,
right, if you lose me for a second, I'm sorry. I'm having technical.
No problem. Anyway,
National Signing Day. Yep.
I didn't know Herb was wearing his shirt. I should have worn my shirt. Anyway, National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Because usually I go shirtless if it's the first time watching.
Oh, please don't ever do that.
That's rude.
I guess it'll be cool to actually have these people committed to your school for at least a year, and then we'll see what happens next year around the same time.
Isn't that sad for at least a year? That's what we're excited for. Yeah, once you sign, we're excited to have you for the next year, and then we'll just see what happens.
We got you for the next year. We'll see what happens next year. So
that's terrible.
Yeah,
but true.
Yeah.
If Ryan, he is. So I haven't met Randy yet in person, but I imagine it's on par with meeting Mike in person.
Yeah,
with the swarms of people that go around you and all the
I'm sure he's got security, paparazzi, etc. I guarantee you, Randy knows the Kardashians. I guarantee you that.
The Kardashians know Randy.
There you go. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
So. Get my. I hope that's not for me.
Yes, Lady Alpha was prepared.
Oh, peep the new ADB logo. Is that for us or for him?
Yes.
No, yep. I'm sorry. I'm off tonight. Because Randy actually sent some designs for some of the stuff he sent. Man, Randy, one of the hardest working people we know.
Yeah.
So. All right, Rod. I did have a Super Bowl question before we get into more signing day stuff and what is going on. Obviously, I know what the answer is, but what is the scale? Alabama in the national championship game, the Dolphins in the Super Bowl. How much less is the excitement for the Dolphins in the Super Bowl?
What do you mean?
Like, if Alabama's a 10, Dolphins in the Super Bowl, where does that rank?
For me, that'd be a 10. I mean, if that was actually
on par. So if they both happen the same night, which one? If they both happen the same night, which one would you watch?
Oh, I'd watch them simultaneously. I'd have one on the big screen and one on my phone.
You'll be at the game with no Wi-Fi.
That would be a tough one.
What?
I honestly, I would probably think I'd watch if I had to choose one, I'd probably watch the Alabama one. But
Mike, I guess Mike's with you, a 10 for the Dolphins.
I mean, yeah, because I've never seen the Dolphins play in the Super Bowl. They were in Dan Marino's second year. They made it to the Super Bowl, but I was like 3 or 4 years old. So
I know.
That was before I became a sports fan. So I would love to see it happen. So yeah,
your grandkids will probably be 3 or 4 before that happens again.
Next joke.
We've started early.
Yeah.
So really, that's the only thing that could make this week exciting for you is Dolphins in the Super Bowl.
This week, I mean, I hope some good things happen on National Signing Day tomorrow. Maybe we get lucky and get some more flips or something. But other than that, I mean, if the Dolphins, no, we're gonna manifest this. When the Dolphins make the Super Bowl, you'll see how excited I am.
Let's start laughing at the chances of the Dolphins making the Super Bowl.
Thanks a lot, Lady Alpha.
That's not what it is, but that's what I'm gonna make it. She'll explain it in a minute though. So yes.
Is that a song lyric? The Dolphins make me cry. That's what I'm.
Poor Hootie. Yep. So, Natty of the Super Bowl because extra BS that comes with the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the ticket prices and all the other stuff going on for the Super Bowl? Like,
I mean, you'd have to be playing like right next to me in Atlanta for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Want to go, and then ticket prices, like I could never afford that.
No. I would just be thinking about everything else I could do with that amount of money that I would be more of a priority than going to the Super Bowl.
Like how much stuff you could buy me?
Yeah, Herb, that's exactly what I was thinking about. But those ticket prices are ridiculous. Then you got to think about lodging. Then it's Vegas, so you're probably going to want to go out and gamble. Then you got to think about when you actually get to the game, concessions. So, and I'm sure they're jacking prices up left and right.
Oh
so
yeah, definitely.
That's just going to be ridiculous.
All right, Raj. So we are talking about. We did kind of bring it back to National Signing Day, right?
Yeah.
Is the National Signing Day impact lessened for you because of the transfer portal? You kind of gave a hint to that earlier, but how much faith do you still put in your national sign, your rankings on tomorrow versus your transfer portal rankings?
Wait, I don't. What do you mean?
Like what matters? Like, let's take Ole Miss, who's like 13th in the rankings, but like number one in the transfer portal. What means more to you? Like, are you still excited for signing day who's coming in, or do you pay more attention to like that transfer window that comes up after the?
I would say 60% more than just the sign days. That way, we kind of know again that we have these players. It's confirmed we have them for another year, but once the spring transfer portal window opens up,
does that mean that anymore? Because Sayan signed here and he still didn't make it.
I don't know. But I mean, once that spring transfer portal does open up, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. If I can only assume that there's going to be some more Bama players leaving once, you know, things progress a little more, and then. But at the same time, I think we'll also gain a few players. So,
yeah, he said not because of transfers, less by the early signing period. Yep. I still don't get why they break it all up and all this stuff and the people that. So, do you think Ryan Williams is really going to sign tomorrow?
Yeah, I do. I think the Alabama influence. I think having Jalen Mbakwe, I hope I pronounced his last name right, there to kind of get him to sign on helped out. So I am 100% fully guaranteed that he is going to sign tomorrow. If he signs elsewhere, then I don't even know what to do. But yeah. Hopefully him signing will be the beginning of the DB era, and I think by him signing and him getting the ball throughout the season will allow other receivers and other offensive players to take a look at what's going on at Bama and say, hey, that's where I want to be next year or the next couple of years. So,
yeah. Speaking of Coach DB, what's your best case, worst case scenario for him next year?
Very good question. I've seen a lot of things on social media about.
Wait. Say it again. What?
It's a decent question.
So I just got downgraded?
Yes.
Did I just go from a 5-star to a 4-star just because of the?
Probably a 5 to a 3-star. I mean, that's a good question though, seriously, because I've seen a lot of people, especially there's been some Bama fans out there that are thinking that we're going to go undefeated, win a national championship.
Which is weird because we haven't done that like the last.
I know. Nick Saban did it twice within 16, 17 years. So my best case scenario is probably 2 or 3 losses. I mean, I'd say maybe 2 in the regular season, and then we'll just see what happens in the playoff. So I'm gonna stick with 2. Yeah, 2 losses.
This is how I feel until he actually
signs. Yeah. And even with that being said, let's just keep in mind, Saban was 7-6. 12-2, then he went 14-0. So if we can only go out with 2 or 3 losses this season, I think that's a win for Coach DB, and that's a really, really good start for the future in this new era. What are you thinking? Are you thinking around the same thing or more or less? What?
If we make the playoffs, that's a good ceiling. 9-3 would be a good start for him. Trying to get acclimated to the SEC and how things are changing, especially with the schedule. the way it is. So I could see that, especially with maybe some tough road games. I mean, if he went like 10-2, I'd be ecstatic. If he made the playoffs, I'd be ecstatic, and I think that'd be a good start. If he goes 7-6, they're firing him. They're not going to
Well, it's not that. It's just going to be the amount of criticism that he receives from Bama Nation. They are going to
Roger hurt my feelings tonight.
The comparisons are going to be endless, and it's just going to be Saban would have never did this. Saban, I mean,
definitely happy with the playoffs. Yeah.
Even with Saban coaching, Saban lost some games that we probably shouldn't have lost. So it's going to happen. Now, what happens if we end up going undefeated and win the national title the first year?
He's going to have to retire because there's you don't go up from there.
Yeah.
So that's it. So
yeah,
I saw this thing. I was just like all the options. I was like, I mean, of course, I'd vote Bama. I would think the second one after Bama is like Texas winning the Natty.
I would say I would go with Bama wins first because I look at the other options and I'm just saying like first of all, Colorado 4-8. Are they going to have some sort of big turnaround season to make the playoff? Probably not. They might win. I have to look at the schedule. Maybe they win 5, maybe 6 games, but they're not making the playoff. I don't think Texas will win the Natty. I think they'll be obviously in the playoff contention. Ole Miss winning the SEC, obviously, I think it's either going to be. I'm going to go with Bama or Georgia. Ole Miss's schedule is very favorable. I'll give them that.
And they killed it in the transfer portal.
They got bigger as Lane Kiffin wanted them to do, especially defensively. So they got some good size. On the ball, but then at Bama winning 11, I mean, is it possible? Yeah, I don't know, but I'm more around the 9-3.
Given those options,
if there were different options, then I may have chose some different ones, but I would say Bama winning 11 is probably the most likely to happen.
Yeah, out of those,
yes.
So, I just have trouble believing in Ole Miss. So that was one of my notes questions. Just kind of honestly, just throw some stuff out there. What do you see as Ole Miss is like? What is a successful season next year for Ole Miss? And
honestly, winning the SEC championship. They were 10-2 or 11-2 this last year. Their only 2 losses were to the 2 teams that played in the SEC championship. They played Georgia next year, so I figured that might be a loss right there. But other than that, I think they're going to skate in. And when they play Georgia, I don't see that being any type of blowout game. I think that could be a pretty close game. So. If you're Ole Miss, you're looking and you're saying, hey, this is our year. This is because especially with the way that they recruited this offseason and what the players that they've gained on their roster. And again, like I've stated a couple times already, I don't know if their roster is going to look like this next year. What if somebody is on the team for 2024 and they say, you know what, I didn't get enough playing time. I want to leave. So you need to keep this team together. I'm assuming Jackson Dart is probably a junior or senior anyway, so he'll probably want to go to the draft.
I think Jackson Dart is about to be collecting Social Security. So
he's probably like
he's like
a super duper graduate senior or something. So
yes,
yeah. So for Ole Miss, you got to think it's at least
he's probably teaching some classes at the university at this point.
Yeah,
so,
it's time for him to dart out.
I mean, you are a dad. I guess you get the dad jokes. It's fine. What could you see any circumstance on which they would let Kiffin go?
No, they just had 11-2. You mean after this upcoming season?
After this season.
If they lose a ridiculous amount of games, I could probably see that. But let's
Pete Golding go crazy. Golding has no excuse because he has the talent. Like they have gotten him as many weapons as possible. So
to answer your question, I don't see that happening. Even if they don't win the SEC this year, I mean, are they going to get a coach to come in and right away do better than what Lane Kiffin did the past 2 years? Probably not. So
I think, and that's kind of how I feel about it. But what if Lane wins a national championship? Does he get a head coaching job somewhere else? Oh my gosh! Is Twitter ready for Lane Kiffin to win a national championship?
I was just thinking that he would go absolutely insane on social media. So no, we're not ready for that. I don't think it's going to happen. But I would not be surprised if Ole Miss is somewhere within the top 5, top 6 teams at the end of or come playoff time.
Yeah. This is definitely a good litmus test for Alabama playing Georgia. I'd love to see where we are at that point. Yeah. You had to throw in the ULM game, of course. Yeah. So no, I agree with you. Like on the Ole Miss thing, you have to think though, like playoffs is the worst they have to do. You know what I mean? Like as in you better be in there somehow. And in the mix for the SEC championship. The SEC championship is a little devalued to me, I guess, with the extra playoff spots.
It is.
About it is winning and maybe getting one of those home games on campus.
Yeah.
But,
well, the thing is, do we want to win the SEC championship? Of course, but in previous years, ever since the playoff was initiated in 2014, it was like if you lose the SEC championship, there's a slim chance that you get in. Nowadays, now upcoming season, there's a possibility you don't even have to play in the SEC championship game, and you can still squeeze in through that 10-12 spot.
Yeah. I also think the way that and I guess we'll talk a little bit about that in a second with the way the conferences are getting together. I feel like the Big Ten and SEC are trying to guarantee both players in that game a spot in the, which I mean it is. If you go to the SEC championship, you go to the Big Ten championship. Yeah. I think both those guys are getting in.
Yeah, so, I agree.
I guess the exception would be maybe Iowa from this last year. But now that we're doing away with divisions, I think the top two teams will be in the SEC will be in the SEC championship. I think they're both going. So there's a good question for you. How many?
That's
in
a very good question.
I'm gonna say 4.
That's what I was gonna say too. I would say Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss,
and Texas.
I keep forgetting about Texas.
That's why I had them. So, and I'll say in this order: Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, and that's probably a little disrespectful to Ole Miss just because of what's going on here. But I'm never going to put us below them. But I feel like continuity wise and recruiting wise and what they both have come in and out, Georgia and Texas, I would think would be your favorites. Without looking at schedules, we haven't done a deep dive into.
And keep in mind, Georgia plays Texas too in Austin next year, so
that would be interesting then. Yeah. So that's what I said. We'll have to do a deeper dive on schedules, and we always do our schedule preview show before the season starts. We'll actually come up with some records, but those would be my 4 to make it right now. Only 12 spots, and I guess we have 4 power conferences and 1 wild card out there, so we're not leaving a whole lot for everyone else.
So how many do we think from the Big Ten?
I think Ohio State.
Is Michigan.
Oregon. I'm not putting Michigan in right now because of what they lost. They lost as much as anyone, and their recruiting wasn't great coming into this just because of, the uncertainty with Coach Harbaugh. So I don't think they're really high in the recruiting rankings.
Right.
And they haven't hit the transfer portal hard. Now they weren't hit hard by the transfer portal going out.
Right.
But for the Big Ten, I would say my early favorites, Ohio State and Oregon.
Okay.
And I don't see anybody else up there that really moves the needle for me right off the jump.
Yeah.
So I don't think the new USC, UCLA, I don't think so.
No. What about Washington?
Lost too much, so I don't think so.
They lost their coach.
There's the Ohio State.
Once Coach DB left, they left pretty much their entire starting roster. I think I saw something on Twitter where it was like they're only going to be returning 1 starter, I think, next year.
Right.
2 starters. So, Washington's not going to be there.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, that's 4 SEC teams, and now you have 2-3 Big Ten teams. So, there's going to be just
2 Big Ten teams. Well, I guess with Michigan being my – so, I've got 4 spots there.
Ohio State and Oregon. So those are the 2 locks.
Yeah. So I would have 6. I would have 6 right now. 7 would be a wild card because it'll be whatever the highest rank.
Yeah.
So that leaves it open at 7 for
6 more.
I'm gonna say Florida State and Clemson.
Yep.
And then
does Clemson get in?
I think they bounce back enough. I think if you get to the ACC championship game, I don't know who else is coming up in the ACC.
Clemson,
so it's not even just a matter of. Yeah, they got to play Georgia to start.
They play Georgia for their first loss. So,
but the out of conference games won't hurt you as much. Anymore if you can do well in your conference. I think if Clemson loses to Georgia, which I'm going to pick them to do that, I think I'm at the point where I think Georgia's second streak could beat Clemson to start the year. But if they played well in the rest of who else would you pick? I guess is the thing. If I pick Florida State and I don't pick Clemson, Miami has a good recruiting class coming in, but I'm not ready.
Yeah. I'm not sold on Miami yet.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely get Florida State in there. I think their QB play is going to be decent enough to.
But it's still funny to me. I think it's got to go 5-7. So at 6-6, does that mean Washington State and Oregon State are guaranteed still? So that's what I'm still looking for. So I just don't think they're ready yet. I think they're still rebuilding. I think the move to the Big 12 will be good for them.
Yeah.
And thank you, Jay, for chiming in. I just don't think I don't think they're ready for the playoff yet. So, and I think that takes time, especially along the lines. I think that's
Colorado's going to the Big 10, right?
Say what? Yeah, they're going to the Big 10. No, they're going to Big 12.
Big 12. Okay, I keep getting that confused. Even with that being said, I mean, they went 4-8 last year. Like I said, maybe 5 or 6 games this year, and then it'll take some more time to build on that. But I don't think they'll be in the playoff yet.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I think after this year, Shedeur is going to be gone. I think Travis Hunter will probably be gone. So he's going to have to start working on that and figuring out who's going to be.
Yeah. I think, though, for those kind of things, Raj, getting skill players will not be as hard for them.
Yeah.
I think getting your lineman is really where he needs to shine. So I think Colorado's on an uptrend, but I'm not ready for that. But yeah, that's what I think. Oregon and Ohio State, Big Ten. I'm just not prepared to have anybody else. So that's an interesting question, though. Who are you bringing from the Big 12 then? I mean, Ohio State was in your championship game.
See, I'd have to do a deep dive into their schedules and their rosters to figure that out.
This is interesting. That's almost like one of those when we do our conference previews.
Yeah, let's save it for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, but I mean, it still takes time. You have a whole new line, but how's your depth on the line? And I think it's the big guys are chickens. So, and people have to realize, I think, and we're not saying only 5. I just don't think they make the playoffs. And I think the playoffs is closer to 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Big 12 is weaker this year. You've lost your 2 best teams, but again, we usually have somebody come in from that conference to help us out with a preview. So I'd be interested in their take. I'm just not ready to put Colorado in the playoffs. But if he gets to 6 wins, that's still good. I mean, he was at 1 win when he started. So
he's still improving. He's headed in the right direction. It's just going to take some time to get there. Yeah. And I think
4 SEC, 4 Big Ten. Mike, so who are the other 2 Big Ten teams that we're missing? So
out of Oregon, Ohio
2
State,
Big 12, 1 ACC. The Big 12, I guess we're just saying whoever makes the championship game. I would say this, especially brand-wise and then just playing-wise, I would say if 2 Big 12 teams are making it, as weak as that conference is, then 2 ACC teams are making it. And maybe you're taking 1 from the Big 10. So you get the 2 Big 10 championship champions in there and 1 extra person is what I would think, based on that breakdown. So I'd love to hear who your other 2 Big 10 teams if you're going with our mix. Big 12, it's just almost who makes a championship game. I have no idea who that's going to be. So there's a good one. Do you think Deion remains at Colorado? I mean, I feel like he started this coaching journey.
That's what I was about to say.
He's going to stick around in it. But
I think he'll be a max 4 years. I think he'll be there next year, obviously, and then 2 years after that. And listen, there's going to be coaching vacancies that open up every year, whether it's college or NFL. And I think Deion's name will be thrown around a little bit, but I think he's going to stay there for a little while, kind of build up his resume more, kind of get Colorado on the right track. Then he'll dip out. I don't think he'll be there too much longer.
Now, are you saying dip, though, to get another opportunity?
Another opportunity, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll still coach. Yeah, he's still going to coach, whether it's a head coaching position or coordinator, whatever the case may be, but he'll still coach. Yeah.
I think the reason why I'm saying that also is because he doesn't need this.
No,
I guess. So, which I guess kind of actually feeds into Randy's question. He doesn't need to. If he doesn't need this, then why stick around with it? But it is an interesting question. So,
did
I miss one in there? No. And I guess she said, losing that SEC championship. No, it's not. It really was. Well, I mean, I can't say that. It was. So I can't say that. But right now, no. Getting to the conference championships, especially with the loss of the Pac-12, and having 12 teams and only one, group of 5 wild card for 11 spots. I mean, 4 teams. If you just take those 4, you're already 8 teams. Yeah. So that's why I think getting to your conference championship, which also kind of, I hope it helps with scheduling out of conference games because, like Clemson, you lose to Georgia to start the year, you lose one other game, but you make the ACC championship game, you still got a great chance of going. Now, if you lose that and now you're at 3 losses, that kind of puts you on the outside looking in, I think. So that'd be interesting. I mean, the way college football works, but if you're Colorado in the Big 12 now and all the big guys are losing, what job would be looking for a Deion? Like, what's a step up from there? I guess is kind of without being one of the big boys.
Do you think he stays in college for a while, or would he just go?
I think so. I think you're relating a little bit. I
was just about to say. I think he relates. I think he relates well to the younger guys too. So he's gonna be. He's a heck of a recruiter as well. So
well, and he's recruiting them well. I think he relates to them better, especially with his sons at their age. And some of the recruiting violations that just came up, which by the way, I know they self-reported. I'm saying this to make this point. Some of them were stuff about his social media and recruiting through there. And I feel like that's something that goes more toward young kids. Yeah. Is why I would put him in that category. Yeah. So I forgot about Penn State totally.
I did too. Good. That's a good point, Mike. I completely forgot about too. I'm not sure about Iowa. I have to take a look at Iowa's schedule. Obviously,
he said with the new OC. Did they have an OC before, or were they just out there drawing up plays in the sand?
They got Caden Proctor to come help block, but are they still going to be able to generate points and win some of these games? That's going to be the big question. The big question mark. So
But no, I said, totally missed Penn State. I said no to Iowa, but I could see why he would include them.
Yeah,
so, Mike, thank you for bringing those in. So
yes, appreciate that.
Good start on there. So, what did you think about this whole Big Ten and the SEC getting together sort of thing? What I say to the SEC, by the way, the last time the Big Ten got together with somebody, they stole their teams and clapped the conference. So
I feel like them joining forces was somewhat inevitable. I think that with everything going on with all these violations and the recruiting and the transfer portal tampering, et cetera, someone said, okay, we've got to figure out how to kind of get a stronghold of this. And how are we going to govern this properly so that we can kind of limit everything that's going on? Because even somebody like me, I have no idea what a violation is and what a violation isn't. And sometimes people will just go on social media, might comment, like something, and that could be a violation. So there has to be some sort of governing body to kind of
and the NCAA is basically giving up.
The NCAA says, what do you want us to do? Come on now. Yeah. So I think it's be interesting. Do you think Saban's going to be a part of this governing body?
No. I don't think he liked any of the stuff that was going on, and he definitely doesn't want to be in charge of it after he left. So, and I can't blame him. It's a mess. And what they did was kind of just open up with almost no rules, and now they're trying to backtrack, and it's too hard. You can't tell kids they can make like $2 million and all of a sudden go, okay, we only meant $1 million. Like that just
right.
You know, so like it's just going to create chaos. They just waited too long, so it's going to be crazy. It's going to be like the Wild West, and they just don't have any rules for it. So we're all doomed. So yeah, and that's what I mean. It goes to that point. So I agree with him staying there for sure. So. What else we got here? Oh, I know, because I did ask that about Ole Miss. What for the newcomers, Raj? What's a successful season for Texas coming in next year? Is it national championship?
You got to say national championship. You got Quinn Ewers coming back, who's probably going to be a Heisman candidate favorite. You got they got Isaiah Bond. You know, you got you're right. They got that other guy.
I just hadn't heard the name before. I didn't know. Is he a new recruit or high school kid? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You've got to think, obviously, with this being Ewers last year, you've got to think, especially with them coming as close as they did last year, that they can repeat that. Especially, and of course, with the 12-team playoff, depending on where they land, they're going to be one of the top 12 teams. So, if you're Sarkis,
the Texas Georgia game is at Georgia or at Texas?
It's at Texas. It's in Austin.
We got to go.
I would love to go. I've even been texting Gabe about this. I'm pretty sure Gabe lives in Austin. I think he'll be at the game. I'm not sure, but that would be a heck of a game to go to just for a day, and just of course we're all of our Bama gear, like everybody's gonna be like, "What are y'all doing here?" Hi,
guys. Unless Georgia beats us by 30, we won't be there.
Yeah, that's
but no, I would love to come there and go there, even if we can't get into the game, man. Just drive down there and be part of the whole atmosphere.
The atmosphere,
that'd be high. Yep. You'd think game day would be there.
Oh, they've got to be. That's a huge thing.
So 4th and 31, from my recollection, Milroe jumps back, throws it, and the Germinator catches it to beat Auburn, right? That's the play she's talking about, right?
Yeah, Milroe to Milroe. So that was pretty awesome.
Yep. So, yes. So this one I like because we are at 88 subscribers, right? We have not been as active as we need to be. We're trying to make our push just to even get to 100 now. So help us out, like and subscribe, join up. The 100th viewer, Raj will come and hang out with you for a whole day. The 100th subscriber.
Okay. Sounds good. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do, and I'll probably bring my wife and kids. So, yay!
Yep. If you're a Bama fan and you're a 100th subscriber, though, we'll get you we'll purchase you a title towel. Yeah, send it to you for the game. So that's for sure. So, miss this. So this one, Air Mike, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Shout out to Air Mike.
We are already making our plans for next year to go to the Oklahoma game.
It's actually this year.
Yeah, sorry, this year. Next year is like football terms for me, but this year
we've already got to jump on lodging, trying to figure things out. Because I know that
for our people out here, because we're getting fussed at by our significant others.
Yes.
We went the cheapest route possible on our hotel room.
Yes.
Okay, because it's just a place to stay.
Yeah.
In favor, not in a bad neighborhood. We had that checked out.
Right.
But are we in favor of that or not in favor of that? So give us a shout out in the comments.
Whenever Herb and I are looking for booking, we're looking for affordability because, as Herb stated, we're not going to be there the entire time. We need somewhere to put our stuff and somewhere to sleep at. That's really it. It doesn't have to be the most impeccable hotel in all of Norman.
That man just used the word impeccable.
Impeccable, yeah. So somewhere that we can lay our head at night, then wake up and get out of there. That's it. It's affordable. It's near the camp. We're good. So we're good to go.
Yeah. I was trying to check on our thing because maybe I didn't set it up right. There should be a in the bottom corner a button you can press to. Oh, I guess probably because I'm already on it. To subscribe to us, but we're looking for. Oh, sorry, he put this question up. To subscribe to us on YouTube is what we're looking for. More subscribers on YouTube, and for that, our live shows are always on there. But also our other content that we put out, any of our NFL picks, a lot of college picks during the year. Which, by the way. We are going to do a YouTube video on Raj and I are about to go into the Super Bowl, but Big Mike is going to join us later this week, and we're going to do a Super Bowl special with picks. And depending on the time of day we do it, it might be live, so we can get some comments and questions too. So looking forward to that. So let's see, where were we at though? And thanks to you Randy for pointing that out.
Yeah,
about the subscribe percent. Ryan Williams was on a visit that game and jumped in to make the catch. That's the 4th and 31. So I like how many different interpretations we're going to get of it. So Milroe has thrown to himself, the Germinator, and Ryan Williams so far. So I just like that. So Cat liked it. So and that's what we thought.
Yeah.
But
that's been like how I planned, even with the guys, the Montgomery guys, James Ray and Carlton. It was just like, where can we say it's affordable? Because we're not going to be there that long.
Yeah.
My wife, on the other hand, is like, this room has to be this, and it has to be that, it has to be that. I'm like, okay, that's fine for you, but
not for us.
But I love my wife though.
Do you? I mean, yeah.
She's a superhero.
Anybody who puts up with you, so
that's true.
Yep. So Raj, I did have some other little topics, but I guess we do want to make sure we get into the NFL stuff before. So
it's a pretty big game coming up.
Are you bigger for San Francisco than you are Kansas City?
What do you mean? I want San Francisco to win.
Okay, so I thought that was the case.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drag. So this one will be more fair.
Okay.
An impromptu debate before we start the seat thing.
Okay.
About who should win this game. You get San Francisco.
Okay.
I get Kansas City.
Right.
All right.
Ready now?
Go ahead.
All right. I want San Francisco to win, and I think that San Francisco is going to win because I feel like offensively they have more weapons than Kansas City. When it comes, they have the best, the best running back in the game, Christian McCaffrey, who can run, and also he's got good hands. He can catch as well. Debo probably still isn't going to be at 100%, but he's going to play, obviously.
I knew he was trouble when he walked in.
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk is a heck of a number 2, and some could say that Brandon Ayuk could be a 1 on the starting receiver, the wide receiver 1, on some teams.
No,
I know some people
except for maybe Kansas City.
Except for Kansas City.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about Brock Purdy, you're not really asking Brock Purdy to do too much. He did a lot second half of the NFC Championship. He played tremendously. All he has to do is distribute the ball. And if you're Cam Newton, you're going to call him a game manager. So all he has to do is be a good game manager this coming Sunday to win this game.
When did we start asking Cam Newton talks about this?
I don't know. He got his podcast, and he just says whatever he wants to say to get attention. And that's what a lot of people do, especially just to get clout or whatever the case may be. So I just feel like offensively, and I didn't even bring up the defensive side of the ball, but offensively, I just feel like San Francisco's offense is going to have more weapons to kind of, generate a little more offense and get more points for San Francisco. But I have a feeling that Mahomes is going to work his Mahomes magic in the fourth.
Which side are you arguing? Are you doing San Francisco or are you just doing both? So you already lead.
I got San Francisco.
You're leading into my first point.
Go ahead.
They have Mahomes. They have the best player in this game. They have the best quarterback in this game. Right. That's the guy who's going to make the most. I mean, he's the guy who's just trying to make the bad receivers good for a weekend. So he is the guy. And if San Francisco does not win, it's definitely going to be a cruel summer. And they have to look at this Lombardi trophy and say, we are never, ever getting back together. So those are the reasons why I think Kansas City. Plus, they got Kelsey and the Taylor Swift effect. And I missed that one comment. I'll post it when we get back to this. But Taylor Swift's boyfriend is out there. I think she's gonna fly from like Japan just to make the game. The ratings have gone up for them.
Okay, so. Are you making a debate about Kansas City winning, or you just want to talk about your love for Taylor Swift?
I don't have love for Taylor Swift, but her music.
I want to see you wear one of your Taylor Swift T-shirts on the show next week.
Are you buying me a Taylor Swift shirt to?
Absolutely not. Okay. My beautiful wife is part of the Beehive, so I can't touch any Taylor Swift merch. Part of the, by marriage, I'm part of the Beehive as well. So sorry.
But seriously, I do think Kansas City finds ways to win. This is like the worst Kansas City team you've seen in a while, right. And they still find ways to win. So if I have to go with the team that's going to make plays, I'm going with them. So that's why Kansas City, plus all the Taylor Swift stuff.
Now, you didn't give any good reasons for Kansas City winning other than Taylor Swift.
Do you think I did? And we'll go more into it when our Super Bowl special. Do you want to go through the comments and see who they think won? Is that fair?
Everybody in the comments is talking about Taylor Swift.
See, so I probably won, right?
No.
Are you mad? We'll go.
Is somebody going to come on and prove? Is somebody going to prove on like help the debate out? Do you know anybody else that you're going to click on who's going to magically appear and?
Excuse me, Sonny. Do you know where I can find some? Oh, hey guys. Hey, Herb and Raj podcast, man. Hey guys, it's me, bro. Brez uncle. He told me to come on here and judge since somebody didn't like the way he judged the last one. So, man, it was a great debate, man. It was really good. Raj, every time you sorry, the name Raj just kind of puts me to sleep because, man, that Herb, you really knocked that one out the park, son. You're a young whippersnapper, buddy. You just did a great job, buddy. I just love the way you talk. I love the points you make, man. You are knocking this one out. I see what Brad meant, man. You are an amazing orator. You're an oracle. You are a genius. So, you're reminding me of good 50 years ago. So, good job, guys. Thanks, everybody, to watching the Herb and Raj podcast. And I'll let you guys get back to whatever it is you young guys do after this, man. Have a great night and roll tide.
I mean, let's check the scoreboard again. Oh, well, 2-0 now in the debate series that we just opened up. I mean, independent judge don't lie.
These debates are rigged.
Raj, I mean,
oh my gosh, my cheeks hurt. Oh.
I can't get any more fair.
You have too much free time. You work a lot, but you really use your free time well. Who was that, Gandalf?
You the air? His name was Bro. He's
oh my gosh. I want to see a picture of their whole family. Brad, Bro, and whoever else is there.
Let's see what the comments. Where are we at? So
what a surprise.
Roll Swift roll. Yep. See, people say. We'll see if Chelsea is. Yeah, I do too. I also wonder if there's a proposal coming up if they win. So apparently she loved the judging. I think everybody likes the judges, Rod.
What a surprise!
It's not the judge's fault that you're losing these debates, right? So.
Okay. Oh my gosh. That was actually hilarious. I kind of felt like that was coming, so it caught me off a little guard. I just didn't know it was going to be Gandalf. So. That was good.
So I will actually be hanging out the folks' house. First off, I guess let's move back. What are you doing for the Super Bowl? What's your setup? What's your party?
Excuse me, very good question.
And how many of us are invited?
We honestly don't know. We have talked to Sydney's godmom to see if she's going to be hosting something in her house. If she does, we most likely will go over there. If not, I'm also at the point like I have no problem staying at home. Right. I am perfectly fine with staying at home, chilling out, nice beer, whatever the case may be, and watching the game at the house. I am perfectly okay with that. And honestly, let's be honest. I do want to watch the game because I want to be competitive and everything, but I want to watch the commercials. I like getting in early. I like getting my seat early so I can watch these commercials. I like watching the movie previews that are coming up, etc. But other than that, to answer your question, I'm sorry, I don't know what we're doing yet. I have not been informed. So
yeah. I have been disappointed with the Super Bowl commercials lately.
I have to. They're
not
like they were back in like the early 2000s. When was it? Like the Terry Tate, the Office linebacker. That's probably
stuff like that.
That's probably still one of my all-time favorites, and of course the Budweiser frogs and the what's that?
Yeah. But where they built up to the Super Bowl commercial, where you had like progressive stuff. So that's what I like. So.
I'm kind of hoping that they kind of do like an old school commercial like that, or maybe they bring back the West just for a commercial and kind of bring that campaign back. But we'll see.
Yep. Do you care about the halftime show?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be Usher. Usher's pretty dope. Give it to Usher.
Apparently, has new songs out that I don't know.
He has new songs out.
Yeah.
Everybody has new songs out that you don't know about. If they were released in the 2000s past 10, you wouldn't know.
I know Confessions. Isn't that new?
I can't believe you confessed that. Get it?
So, while we're at this point, what are your top 5 things that you're looking for this Super Bowl?
I did not complete my top 5 list.
It was only 5 things.
Lower your tone, Gandalf.
First off, that was clearly not me. Oh, and by the way, the first thing Raj said he's looking forward to is heads. So I guess he's not picking tails.
What?
That's what I texted this to you. I said top 5 things you're looking for, and the first thing you did was heads. That's what you texted me.
Oh, well, that was a mistype. Sorry, don't just ignore that.
You butt typed me.
Number one. Just honestly, just an overall competitive game. I think last year's Super Bowl was really, really good. Came down to the wire. I think it was, I don't remember the exact score, 35-37, something like that. Came down to the fourth quarter.
It was
very, very good game.
Like it would be like 38-35.
Something like, I just said 37-35. You say 38-35.
I'm just saying the 1 point matters, Raj.
Gosh. Anyway, just an overall competitive game. If it's a blowout, so be it. But I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to come down to the wire. Number 2, great commercials. We talked about this earlier. That's one of the main reasons why a lot of us watch the Super Bowl, because the majority of the time our team's not in it. We just want to watch for the commercials. Number 3, again, a good halftime performance. I still like the 1-2 years ago when it was 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Dr. Dre, etc. I think that was a phenomenal performance. Rihanna did really, really good last year. She was pregnant, showed a baby bump, really, really good. I think Usher's going to put on the show. It'll be interesting to see if he brings anybody else out.
The only song I know from his Confessions, so I hope he just sings that the entire time.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Taylor Swift's there and she comes out and performs at halftime with Usher? Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? I'm just saying.
The sarcasm is dripping.
Yes. The number 4, the big play that changes the game. Whether it's a kickoff return, a big pass, Christian McCaffrey breaks a run for like 70 yards. I'm looking for that one big play that just kind of alters the direction of the game and gives the team the victory. And number 5, just the overall atmosphere. And again, this kind of goes back to your question as far as where we are when we're going to watch the game. I just like being in the Super Bowl atmosphere, just being around the people, or whether it's here with the kids, the wife, whatever the case may be. But I think that'll complete my top 5 list. And I have a question for you.
Okay.
And even everybody who's listening. Are Super Bowl parties overrated?
So, for me, because I've never been the type. So, I guess backing up, we had one last year for the Super Bowl. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that was friends were over. One of our friends brought 3 of his kids. And it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, I would say getting together with people that you know to enjoy. Now, I can't say how I would feel. I was rooting for Philly, but they're not like rooting for Alabama.
Right.
You know, so I can't say how I would feel. Like, I would never do an Alabama watch party with a mixed crowd because.
So are you saying like
because of how emotional I get? But I can do that for NFL because I'm not as emotionally invested. Does that make sense?
I 100% agree. Yes.
So,
for those of you who don't know what Herb's talking about, when Herb and I watch Alabama football games, we talk. If we're not together, we talk before the game, at halftime, and then after the game. We do not talk during the game at all. It's emotional. Sometimes I won't even eat, and I don't even like talking to anybody honestly during the game. So it's just.
And if we lose, you got to give me a 30-minute cushion.
Yes, if we lose, I don't want to talk. It's going to take a while for me to like have a decent conversation. So
it depends on how long it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there have been games like I remember when the Ole Miss upsets. That was quick.
Yeah.
The Michigan one that took a while. So there's your ranking for it. So.
Yep.
By the way, people. So what is this? Oh. Well, we'll be on X tweet with you. We're watching the game.
Yeah.
So you could definitely join us there.
We're not going to be on XXX, just X.
Just X.
Yeah.
Hope Mom's not watching. Good is his newest song, but I know it's really good. They might just make a joke, or is that true? Good.
No, that's Usher's new song. I think with
I don't. So this is what's largely said. I'm gonna have to go back and just watch this one time.
I
don't think I've ever watched it in this entirety. So.
Yeah,
his new song. So now we're talking. See, we bring everybody together. We got a little music stuff going on too. So same added it. Depends on who's playing. Yep, that's for the party. So
yeah,
as Raj said, the X Factor decides. Yeah, I like that too. The story maybe you haven't talked about coming up to. Who knows? Maybe it's a Kadarius Toney redemption tour.
Yeah,
so he's already come out and said that he wasn't talking about the Chiefs in his last rant. So he was actually talking about the Giants. So,
yeah.
The Saints made it one only time I wanted to be myself. Yeah. And that's, I think, what it is. If we were more personally invested in the teams. That's it. I ain't no one bug. But I bug her. No, never. We love the interaction, so we need to get on there more. So we were fun. Never to the Super Bowl party. So yeah, that's it. I haven't been to many. Raj, probably you're the one I've watched more championship games with. If I haven't myself, we have a terrible track record though.
Yeah, so, unfortunately. Well, the third one was a charm.
The last game we watched was
the SEC championship.
If he gets on the field, man, tell him to show out there. So
yeah.
When the Dolphins make the Super Bowl, I will watch alone.
Yeah, I probably will too. I'll be too emotional about that. I'm gonna be going crazy, and it is gonna be Tua leading them there soon. So,
if the Dolphins get there, would you ever watch it with a fan of the other team? Like they're playing, I don't know, San Francisco.
No, I understand the question. You don't have to break it down.
Break it down.
I might entertain that idea. Yeah. So, like, what if they're playing like the Cowboys, for example? That would be interesting. That would be.
Say Alabama was playing Georgia in the national championship. Would you watch it with Randy?
I've actually. That's a good question. I would if we could do like
who are the three.
I would if we could do like a live broadcast. That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
He said, I got to think about that one, though.
Yeah.
And I'll ask it, I'll post both his questions at the same time if he gives me those. Otherwise, we'll just post that. Which, by the way, it's a good let me go back and pull. I need to start pulling this earlier, I think. I always like the segues. Well, just because I always like. So, Ryan, what would make you come back to the NBA, like full-time watching? Is there anything at this point?
Full-time watching the NBA?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I even if the Lakers were playing better, they're on a decent stretch right now. But even if the Lakers were playing better, I don't know if I could just get back into a full time. I don't get back into it really until around playoff time. To be honest with you, regular season is just so up and down. Players are going to miss games, and then you kind of get a good gauge of what your team's going to do within the next few months. So, I don't know. It will take a lot right now.
And I ask that because I always do like to. So it asks you to help keep up with the pulse of the NBA for us because we're not watching as much as we used to. So Philly has fallen out on the East. Embiid's injuries out.
Embiid's out. They said he's out 4 weeks. I think it's going to be longer than that.
I think so too. I think he probably damaged it more, and they're blaming the load management, the 65 game thing on it. But
I told you I don't want to play. You tell me to play. What you want me to do?
Is that Dikembe Mutombo or Joel Embiid?
Anyway, what else did he say?
So Boston, who I think will stay at the top. Milwaukee, I'm surprised just because I don't believe in them right now. Cavs are starting to play better once they get healthy. Garland coming back, in the Knicks with their trade have the best defense in the league.
Keep in mind, the Lakers have beat both number ones already. They beat Boston in Boston, and I think they beat OKC in OKC.
Yeah, and then they lost like a whole lot of other games, but that's fine. So OKC, Denver, Clippers are coming together at the right time.
Yeah, they're like 31. I think they're like 31-8 since the James Harden trade. So
that's going to be
right
crazy.
there.
Yep. Thank you, E, for always keeping us up.
Appreciate you.
No, We're waiting on the 3 mobile natives. A little aside before we go into the Super Bowl sized questions of death.
Okay.
Alabama basketball. Are you paying attention now?
I'm paying attention. I watched the last few games. I want to say I've seen almost every game this year, but I think I've missed a few. But I'm paying attention. They got a huge one in Auburn tomorrow night. I think
our last tough road when we got smoked by Tennessee, so you got to come correct with this one.
Yeah, and we beat Auburn at home was 1 or 2 weeks ago, but we're 16th. Auburn's ranked 12th, I think, so it's going to be a huge game tomorrow night. Alabama, we're looking good. They still scare me sometimes because we live by the 3, die by the 3, and there's some games when we're not hitting and we kind of become very, very stagnant on offense. But Grant Nelson's been playing well of late. He didn't score too much the last game. I think he only had 2 to 4 points, but he uses his size, plays pretty good defense. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the team. I think we have enough. With this team, I think we can win 1 or 2 games in March Madness, and then it might end after that. But again, it's going to depend on what our seeding looks like, who we're playing, etc. Anything could happen in March. So
gotcha.
I'm excited.
Agreed. Yep. All right, we're going to get into this because I have a couple extra questions. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We're going to play 3 rounds of Work, Play, Live.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yes. The halftime edition, the Kansas City edition, and the San Francisco edition.
Okay.
Halftime edition, Work, Play, Live. Usher, Rihanna, Weekend.
I'm playing with Rihanna.
You're not supposed to start with that, though. You're supposed to make it look like it was your last choice or something. Yeah. You're supposed to. And I those are just the last 3 half times. I skipped the Eminem one because there's like 20 people in that one.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I'm gonna hang out with Rihanna, as I stated earlier. Just hang out, go to Cheesecake Factory and see what happens.
Wow. Okay.
I'll work with The Weeknd because I'll work with The Weeknd because as far as his personality is concerned, he seems like he's a little more laid back. I wouldn't mind living next. Having Usher as my neighbor would be pretty cool. So instead of having to pay for tickets and go to Vegas, we could just, hey man, my wife wants to see one of your shows. You mind if we come over and you can just dance and sing in the living room, whatever, for free, whatever. I'll buy you a bottle of Crown Apple. Anyway,
there's an image you didn't need. Sorry, we're not always the best family friendly.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, the Kansas City edition: Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid.
I'm going to work with Andy Reid. He just seems like a good mind. I think he would really, really, really help me do well at my job. Patrick Mahomes is going to be my neighbor. I'd want to see him at times, but sometimes his voice is kind of annoying and a little irritating, so I wouldn't want to be around him too much. I just couldn't picture him all the time. Hey, man, go ahead and make sure you mow your lawn at the right.
Is that what he sounds like to you?
That's what it is. I didn't tell him to talk like that. I'm going to hang out with Travis Kelce, so, hey, man, what you doing?
Well, Patrick Mahomes. Excuse me.
It's Patrick Hurd. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'd hang out with Travis Kelce. He seems like he'd be a good time.
You guys will be drunk by 8:00.
Yeah.
If you hang out with Travis Kelce. All right.
That's fine with me.
Whatever, you're a bit family friendly. I thought that was the image that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
My bad.
Sorry about that, Lady Alfred.
All right. Debo, CMC, Brock Purdy.
I'm going to hang out with Debo. I'm going to live next to Brock Purdy. He just seems like I don't know why. I'm going to live next to Brock Purdy. And I'll work with Christian McCaffrey. He seems like he's pretty cool. We could hang out on lunch, just talk, shoot the shot, whatever you want to call it, or on lunch breaks and just chop it up. So, yeah, definitely hang out with Debo, though.
All right. You ready for the big one? The tough one.
I thought I already did it. Go ahead. What's the tough one?
I need a Super Bowl roster, but you can only build it from teams that are not in the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
So I need a quarterback.
Tua.
2 wide.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Definitely. Wow. Mike really went there. I would work with Brock Purdy, but that would be irrelevant.
Oh, wow.
Mike's been hanging out with us too long. He's been hanging out with us too long.
We see what you did there.
Quarterback, 2 wide receivers, running back, tight end, O-line if you really want to pick one, you don't have to.
Right.
And a defense.
Not in the Super Bowl?
Not in the Super Bowl. You cannot pick anybody who's in the Super Bowl right now.
I'm gonna be favorable.
But you have to play the 2 Super Bowl teams combined.
Yeah, forget all that. I'm gonna get Tua as my quarterback. I want to get Tyreek and DK Metcalf as my receivers. Tight end is gonna be
Tyreek to catch all the balls and DK to fight everyone.
Hey, now you're thinking, Herb. Now you've got on your thinking cap. My tight end is gonna be oh my gosh, I had his name. And no, I'm not picking anybody from the Dolphins.
Mark Andrews.
Golly. I think he plays on
Isaiah
the Texans. Is it Dalton Schultz?
Yeah, Dalton Schultz.
I like Dalton Schultz. I think he had a good year with Houston. I know. I like Dalton Schultz though.
Okay.
Running back. I'm not gonna go with anybody with Miami. Which running back do I want?
For you, Lady Alpha, sure.
I really like a healthy Saquon Barkley, but that's the thing. Is he going to be fully healthy?
No.
Is he okay? He's not going to be. Well,
I mean, you can pick him, but
yeah,
I don't know if he finishes the game for you.
I'm going to take a healthy.
I
Saquon
1000% would have put all my money on him saying Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I forgot. I honestly forgot about Nick Chubb because he got hurt this year. So, yeah, a healthy Saquon Barkley. Who else do I got to get? I got my receivers.
Maybe 3 or 4 years ago for that one.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's your running back? Who'd you put in there?
Healthy Saquon. Yeah.
Okay.
I got my tight end already. Did I do tight end? Yeah, I got Schultz. I got receivers. I got my quarterback. Defense. It's weird saying Baltimore because I really thought Baltimore was going to be in the Super Bowl, man.
Right.
I'll take Baltimore's defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you need a coaching staff. Told you the supersized. OC, DC, and head coach.
Okay.
They have to be Marvel superheroes.
Oh, gosh.
And you cannot have Iron Man or Captain America. We've picked them too much.
Okay.
And I wanted to eliminate Batman because we always get him too.
You said Marvel, right?
Marvel, yeah. But
I can't. Okay. Thor is going to be my DC.
What? Why?
Dude, because he's going to lay down the hammer. Thor's going to be my DC. I think he would really relate to the players well because he is kind of silly a little bit, but he can always, I guess if he needs any silly advice, he can always contact Loki just out of the heck out of it just to see, hey, let's get these guys in line. Offensive coordinator for Marvel. Can it be villain or just superhero?
I'll let you choose. That's fine.
Offensive.
Wait, so who's your head coach?
I haven't got there yet. I just picked Thor as the DC. I haven't done anything else.
Thor as the DC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Head coach would be. This is a good one. No, not Ant-Man. Hell no. I don't know. OC and head coach. I'm trying to think of everybody in Marvel that other than Iron Man. You know what? I'm gonna take a swing here. I'm gonna say somebody nobody's gonna like. I'm gonna take Hawkeye as my OC.
I was thinking that, yeah, for your OC.
I'm gonna take Hawkeye as my OC simply because he's gonna know the angles and he's gonna be sharp and he's really, really witty. So I'm gonna take Hawkeye as my OC, and my head coach will be the guy. Was it Reed Richards? Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic. I'll take him as my head coach. He's extremely smart.
I think most people don't mention him because his movies is bomb and he's not really.
I know. But he's ridiculously smart, so yeah. I think he'll know how to. I think he'll know how to play it out.
So, Fury, that would have been a good one for head coach because he's putting everybody together.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. Are we saying he could create his magic on the field or no? So.
I don't know.
And that depends on which Hulk you're getting. Yeah, he's head coach, but as soon as he gets mad, he turns into
If he gets angry, then he's gonna really go off and destroy the locker room.
Yep.
So no.
And Reed Richards, yep, you got that. Hawkeye, yep, and Professor X. And then he says it's scary that y'all are agreeing on those.
Yeah,
so,
very.
And
great minds think alike.
And he did give us these are the 3 people from Mobile playing in the Super Bowl. So appreciate that. Yep. So I forgot Michael P. Ryan was still around.
You're thinking Samaje P. Ryan, aren't you?
Oh, that is what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then there you go. So, and there's your, this is why I see all the possible futures to score. What if he looks at you and goes, "We have one play that will score. That's it. All the other plays suck."
Like,
I'm like,
really?
Dang. Yeah. All right. And this one might be a little sad.
Yeah.
Rank these guys on their chances of getting their team to a Super Bowl in the next 5 years.
Tua is going to get there to the Super Bowl. I know
I
his
don't
name
even know
who's
who's on the list.
I'm not stupid. You're smiling.
Bryce,
I know that. Who?
Bryce,
Never.
Jalen,
Okay.
Mac, Tua.
In order of which one will get first?
Yes, or you can give me a ranking 1 to 5. Their chances of getting their team to a Super
I would
Bowl
say
next.
Jalen, Tua. I guess Bryce and Mac. Because come on. I mean, I don't even know if Mac's gonna be a starting QB anymore. So yeah, I'd say Jalen, Tua, Bryce, and Mac. But Bryce
I would just say
and Mac are
Jalen and Tua, and then the other two are.
Yeah,
the
Bryce
chances
and
are
Mac
zero.
are not getting the Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Sorry.
Yeah, 10 years.
Maybe 10 for Bryce.
Mac's done.
I don't know. I would like to see Mac really, really succeed in the league. But I just don't know if I don't know if he's gonna be able to kind of crawl out of the quicksand that he's in right now. So
Yeah, it's looking awful over there. All right, Raj, you've made it through an hour. Any final thoughts?
no final thoughts. Of course, like we said,
How are you going to improve your debate skills?
I'm gonna get some help.
Oh wow!
As you did.
Yep. Down with that.
Hey, depending on where Monroe
I mean,
gets drafted, it's a
he's not
possibility.
wrong.
He might go to a really good team and have to sit out a few years, but hey, it could happen.
He is not wrong, unfortunately. So, all right, for the Herb Raj podcast, thank you all for the, especially in these weeks where we're not 100% sure what we're going to do. The comments make the show, so we appreciate y'all tuning in. Like you said, please subscribe to us, our YouTube channel. We make our push to 100. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. We take everybody here. So next Tuesday is Mardi Gras.
Happy early birthday, Kat.
We got the beads. Yep. Maybe this time Kat will give out 2 more numbers on her phone number for her birthday.
Oh my God.
Everybody will tune in for that. So for the Herb Raj podcast, for all everybody watching, we appreciate y'all. For Raj, who is the greatest brother known to man.
Thank you.
Everybody
Likewise.
have a wonderful night and
roll tide
always.